back, guys, to another Minecraft video. Today we will be showing you the different mobs, their damage, and their drops. Today we are only doing hostile and neutral mobs though. So first off is a zombie, and he will burn in daylight, so I had to cover it up because I didn't really feel like switching between night and day. But he does 2 damage, meaning 1 heart, because you have 20 health, although 10 hearts. Every half a heart is 1 health. So 2 damage equals 1 heart, and that's how I have them all set up. But the zombie can nearly always drops rotten flesh, iron ingots, rotten flesh, and has a rare chance to drop iron ingots, potatoes, and carrots. And if it is wearing armor or holding a tool, it has a very small chance to drop that. But there are 2 types of zombies, and the first one is a zombie villager, and then the second one is sorry, the first one is a zombie, the second one is a zombie villager. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. But as you can see, hold on, there, he'll just die out there. So this is just a normal zombie. He does 2 hearts of damage per hit. I am regenning because I'm at full hunger. But he has a decent amount of health. As you can see there, we got 4 rotten flesh. That's quite a bit. But then there's the zombie villager, which you get when a zombie murders a villager, and you can turn it back into a normal villager by splashing potion of weakness on it, and then giving it a golden apple. So it's not too expensive, although it does cost a decent amount, and it takes quite a while. And if you ask me, because of how bad villagers' trades are, I don't think it's worth it. But here's a looting 3 sword, so we'll try and get some stuff from there. Just rotten flesh again. Let's try fighting 3. Oh, and keep in mind that their damage I have for easy and with no armor. So the armor will increase your resistance to it, so you take less damage from it, but that is only on easy. On normal and hard, they do more and more damage. Some mobs are the same, others are not. The evoker stays the same throughout the different game modes, and so does the tiny slime, which just does 0, as you will see later. The second one is the husk. He also does 2 damage, but has a chance to give you hunger on contact. The main difference, though, is the fact that he, or she, whatever you want to call it, oops, sorry, wrong thing, can survive in daylight. So they're perfectly fine. And they seem to be a bit slower than normal zombies, but they have the same amount of hit points. So let's switch to looting. Yeah, just rotten flesh there. But they drop the same stuff as zombies. Although they cannot wear armor, they can hold like a sword or a shovel or whatever. Most of the time though, when I see a zombie or like a husk holding something, it's a iron shovel, so that's kind of why I put it in there. But up next is actually the zombie pigman. I had like all the zombies right in a row. Quite by accident though, and he does a lot of damage. He does 5 damage, meaning 2.5 hearts. And the main reason for that is the fact that he has a sword. I really wish I would stop like spawning them out, but they will attack you, or they're neutral, so they won't really care. But if you attack one of them, all the ones around you will attack you. And their jobs are rotten flesh, gold nuggets, golden swords, and gold ingots. These 2 are very rare, as though these ones you'll likely get every kill. So they have a decent amount of hit points, and they do a bit of damage. So now they're both after me, and I'm probably gonna get owned. Yeah, so they do a lot of damage, and you might not want to attack them if there's multiple around. and they hold a grudge too. So let's try and get something. Let's see here. We just got a bunch of gold nuggets and rotten flesh. So yeah, they do. And then of course you can use the gold nuggets to make gold ingots, but it'll take a while. And I would suggest fighting them with a bow because they do a lot of damage, and that is just an easy. Up next though is a creeper, one of like the meanest creatures out there if you have mob griefing on, because like they'll just like spawn outside. You walk out your house one day, ah, what a nice day, boom, and there goes your house. But yeah, so the creeper itself does 25 damage when it explodes, but the charge creeper actually does 49. And of course you have to be in like a certain spot. The farther away you are, the less damage it does, and sometimes it doesn't actually do all 25. And its drops are just gunpowder, or if you make a skeleton kill it, you have a chance to get a random music disc. So the creeper, let's let him blow up here. See, I didn't take all 25 damage, but I did take a lot of it, plus the fall damage actually did a lot more. The best way to fight them is to run at them, smack them, and then they'll fly back. Run at them, smack them, they'll fly back. If you go for crits, it might not turn out well unless you actually manage to land them. So yeah, let's see here. I didn't actually get anything from them that time, which is quite a surprise. But up next is the Blaze. The Blaze, like, has somewhat a melee attack, which does 4 damage, and it spits fireballs, which do 5 damage, and then, of course, light you on fire. So we'll take them. Their drops are glowstone and blaze rods. They used to drop blaze rods and blaze powder, before the update, and then they switched that. So they can take damage from water. And you know when they are angered because, like, normally they look like this. When they get mad, they get lit on fire and just fly up there. If you sit right here, you hardly take any damage. But, they have a decent amount of hit points, and as you can see, we got a blaze rod from the first one and nothing from the second. Let's try spawning in multiple. See, now they're meleeing me, which actually does a decent amount of damage. Come on. Yeah, there's some glowstone. So I have 3 blaze rods and 3 glowstone from that. I'm actually gonna set my spawn point up here, so that I don't have to go all the way through the obstacle course again. Well, it's not quite an obstacle course, but you know what I mean. So yeah. Up next we have the Wither Skeleton. It's basically just like the zombie, or actually it's more the zombie pig man, but it gives you the wither effect and only does 2 damage per hit. Like meaning 1 heart. And it spawns in the nether just like the zombie pig man and the ghast and all that. But the wither effect can really kill you, just because it's basically poison but actually kills you. So in this chest we have him, and his drops are very rarely the Wither Skeleton Skull, and then he drops coal, charcoal, stone swords, and bones. He is actually 3 blocks tall, so if you manage to get in like a 2-block tall hallway, he will just be stuck at the entrance and he cannot kill you. As you can see, I have the wither effect for about 5 seconds, I think. No, maybe it's 10. Oh. Oh, jeez, I forgot to set my spawn point. Imagine that. But yeah, so he does do a lot of damage. And he is hostile, so he won't wait till you attack him to attack you. Let's fight a couple more. Try looting. See, there we got his sword, we got the coal, and we got some bones. As you can see, like, all the weapons that these mobs drop, if they drop it, will be, like, very damaged, but then you can just put them together. So, like, here, let's try and get another one out. Let's get another sword. Come on, give me your sword there. if you do have all these damage weapons and it doesn't have to be dropped by him. Oh wow, that one actually has good durability. But you can put them in a crafting, like your little crafting thing or a crafting table together, and it'll add the durabilities together. So now I have a full replenished sword. So I did get the wither effect for a little bit right there. Thankfully not too long. So up next is the stray and the skeleton. The skeleton is like a weaker version of the stray. They both burn in daylight. The skeleton does 1 to 4 damage, like depending on how much they charge their bow. And he just looks like a skeleton. And see, if he comes out into this daylight, he will start to burn. If he'll come on. When I tested this, he just walked right out. But yeah, so they will burn in the daylight just like zombies. And unfortunately, you cannot just like pick up the arrows that they miss. Otherwise, that'd be a little bit overpowered. And they can drop bones, arrows, and their bows. Oh, plus if they are wearing armor, they can also drop that. So from those two, I got 4 bones and an arrow. For a second, I thought I got an enchanted bow, but no, I had that. The stray does 1 to 4 damage as well, but it also gives you slowness when it hits you. It looks a lot cooler than the normal skeleton. It's basically like a super old skeleton in robes. And it is also hostile. I'm surprised it didn't attack me. It has the same drops, but it can also... well, it doesn't wear armor, so it replaces like the armor with an arrow of slowness. And it's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get it again. Because I didn't actually know about that until I killed one and got the drop. There it is. Looting 3 makes everything so much easier. So there I got the arrow of slowness. Every time you shoot something with it, it will just like make them very slow. So it's pretty good for like ranged attacks and everything. But yeah. So over here we have the slime. There are 3 different ones. The big one does 3 damage, small one does 2 damage, and the tiny one does 0 damage. And I don't know if you just saw that, but like the slowness just wore off. I forgot to show you guys. So I now have 30 seconds of slowness just from being hit by it once. Oh, I did not. No, stop opening the chest. And attack! There. So we got some more arrows and bones. But yeah. So the tiny slime actually does 0 damage, so they're basically like pets, although if anyone sees it, they're probably just gonna go up to it and kill it. Their only drop is slime balls, which you can only get from killing the small ones. So right there we got a big one, he'll do 3 damage. If we murder him, he'll go to the small ones that do 2 damage. And here's the tiny ones, they do 0 damage no matter like what difficulty it is or anything. So you could like make an obstacle course where you have to lead them around and all that. But they're also only at 1 hit point, so you can literally just fist them. Like, high five! Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the slime balls only drop off of them, but it is kind of fun just to like make a huge mess of slimes. But up next is a witch, everybody's favorite mob, I say sarcastically. They are pretty mean, and they actually drink potions of swiftness, healing, and fire resistance, and then they can throw damage, poison, slowness, and weakness. The poison is probably the worst just because it gets you really low, and then they just throw a potion of damage and absolutely murder you. They don't move around too much when they start attacking, so there's basically no point in the speed. But, come on. Oh, see, there's poison for 32 seconds, or I think it was 33. There's splash potion of healing, and if I light her on fire, she'll drink fire resistance. Now you can see the particle effects, and she just murders me without, like, actually burning. So they are kind of like terrible for like just because they don't have fire resistance. But if we murder her fast enough, let's see here, she didn't drop anything. Yeah, but their drops, they have probably like the most drops of any mob. They have instant health, fire resistant, sugar, glowstone, gunpowder, glass bottles, sticks, spider eyes, and redstone. I'm actually gonna take this. I'm gonna wait for that to wear off first. But yeah, so they have a lot of different like drops. I've never seen them drop a splash potion, and no one ever says that they can. But yeah, so this is decent for like a big battle, but unfortunately it's always just like one, so it only heals 2 hearts or something. And I'm gonna go ahead and use another apple. But yeah, so there's that. Up next is the spiders though. There's spiders and cave spiders. They both do 2 damage, but cave spiders have a chance of poisoning you too. And they both only drop string and spider eyes, and they'll only attack you if it is night or they're like in a cave. The normal spider looks like this. The cave spider is smaller and, in my opinion, looks cooler because it's like blue. But they both can climb walls and fences and all that, and they're neutral during the day, so they won't attack you unless you attack them. So yeah, and like if you attack one, all the others aren't gonna attack you. So there's 6 and 3. But yeah, so I actually built this thing thinking that I would have to like spawn them in, punch them, and then press this button to go up here so that they would climb this, but they decided to do it on their own, so that made it a lot easier. So up next is one that you can only find after killing the Ender Dragon, or you can cheat it in, of course. It's a Shulker. It does 4 damage, meaning 2 hearts per like bullet hit, and each one gives you levitation for 10 seconds. Fortunately, it doesn't stack, otherwise you'd be like bombarded for a little bit, and then you just be floating a few thousand blocks up. But they only drop shulker shells, which you can use to make shulker boxes, which are basically backpacks, because you can put them around a chest and place it down, put stuff in it, pick it up, place it down, put stuff in it. So it's like even better than an ender chest, which you can access from anywhere. Instead, you have to have exactly that one. And like if you break it, you don't have to rebuild it. Because ender chests, when you break it, it only gives you the 8 obsidian back and not the chest. But fortunately, you don't like lose everything, because then you just have to go spend an hour getting a couple pieces of obsidian. But yeah, so they like only spawn after you kill the ender dragon in the end city. And they don't take near as much damage when they're like closed. When they're open is the best time to hit them. And each bullet, as you can see, does 2 hearts, plus it gives me levitation for 10 seconds. If you want to like stop being hit, you can punch the bullets. Hold on. You can like punch them or shoot them or just hit them with a sword. Die, bullet! Huh, why isn't it letting me hit them? There. If they run into a wall or whatever, they aren't gonna continue after you. Nah, that one's dead. Oh, no! Oh, crap, crap, crap. Oh, thank God. But yeah. I almost, like, died right there. I know I could land in the water, but I just want to do this. No, it didn't work. I really need to set my spawn point over there. But yeah, so the shulker, just is kind of annoying if you can't, like, actually reach it, especially if you don't have a bow, because that just, like, really makes it suck. But yeah, so, the next one is the polar bear and the llama. I guess I should say the next 2. But the polar bear actually does 4 damage, and the lava does 1 damage, but it's somewhat ranged. Well, it's ranged, but only by a couple blocks. The polar bear, Like, you can find it in the frozen and cold biomes. I'm not sure what to call them. But you can find them in, like, the snowy biomes. And they are neutral until you attack them, in which case all of them will attack you. Especially, oh no, they'll only all attack you if you attack one of the cubs. If you attack the cubs, like, they're very protective. So their drops are like raw fish, raw salmon, and then the llama, as you can see, drops leather, and like if you punch it, then it'll like spit at you. You missed. It's just gonna come right up close. Wow, you're bad at this, llama. And as you can see, the only one that you punch will actually spit at you. See, there it is. And it only does 1 damage, so, like, they're not gonna be able to do anything unless you have, like, 5,000 of them attacking you and you don't have food. Because they only do have a heart, so you just heal really fast. But yeah, like all mobs, the baby ones don't drop anything other than experience. But the next one is actually magma slimes. They spawn in the nether. They're basically slimes, but they have way more health. Well, I guess I shouldn't say way more health, but they have more health and they do more damage. Instead of 3, the big ones do 4. Instead of 2, the small ones do 3. And instead of 0, the tiny ones do 2. But they work exactly the same. When you kill a big one, it'll turn into a... See, this one's a small one. And it'll split into these ones, which unfortunately will actually hurt you if you give it a second. They don't actually seem to hurt you every single attack, and it would really help if you guys would hurt me. Yeah, whatever. But you cannot fist them. Well, not like one tap fist them. They have 2 more health. Well, 2 health, not 2 more. But yeah, let's try and get a big one. There it is. Die. And all of them have a chance of dropping magma cream, except for the small ones. So the big ones actually drop it in this case. So I just got quite a bit from them, and if these ones, there. So I just got 6 from that. And then the next ones, which I could not get to go through the stone, are silverfish. They can just like disappear through stone, and there are random like silverfish blocks that just like there's like silverfish veins down under the ground. So you could just like destroy a block and it turns out being silverfish. And a good way to tell that it is silverfish is try breaking it with your fists. If it breaks that fast, then it's definitely silverfish. Another really good way to tell is if you break it, if it like spawns a silverfish. If you go into peaceful though, they will not be silverfish stone anymore. You can break them with your fist or of course a pickaxe, because they actually do not have a drop other than experience. They break a little bit faster with this, but yeah, so you want this, here you go. But you will not get it if it is silverfish stone. For some reason it seems like one of them changed but the others didn't. So like, yeah, so that one. Okay, so the bottom row are silverfish stone, except for this one, which is switched. So as you can see, this one is silverfish stone, but the top one is not. So if I go into peaceful, oh, huh. Well, it seemed to work last time, but instead of spawning, it'll just like go poof. As will all mobs that are currently alive, and they do 1 damage each, so they're really no threat unless you have 1,000 of them. Or 16 in this case. But yeah, so if I just stand here, they're all gonna just murder me. And they're kind of hard to hit because they're so small. There's only 1 mob harder to hit, and that's the Endermite. Fortunately, it's slow. but it's like so small it could just like sit in the grass murdering you while you just stand there. But yeah, they do drop a decent amount of experience. Um, but yeah, they also have more health. But I'm just gonna avoid that stuff. Um, the next one, which you find in mansions, well, the next two you only find in mansions. This one is the Evoker, which does 6 damage for his like little fangs, as they're called, but I like to call them alligators just because that's what they look like. And they also spawn in Vexes, which do 5 damage each. So let's get the Evoker first. If he does this light particle effect, then it means he's gonna bring in some Vexes. See, there's the Vexes. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, and there was a crocodile thing. And he will always drop, hold on. I'm gonna, like, get murdered in a second. Yeah. Jeez, my memory is so bad for setting spawn points. For setting spawn points is what I was about to say. But yeah. So they do, a decent amount of damage. Although their attacks are very slow, the Vexes will just own you. The Vexes have no drops, as you might have saw. Well, that happened. And they do not take damage from bows. Oh. Well, last time they did not. Okay, so apparently they do take damage, and they just, like, go through walls and everything. So, let's see if this works. Come on. No, dang it. Well, like, they spawn in Vexes, which are very annoying and have no drops, and they have drops of, 0 to 1 emeralds, and they always drop a totem of undying. Which, like, here, I'll show you what it does. It'll do this. So when you're about to die, it will just, like, save you, give you regeneration for 30-something seconds, and fire resistance, and I'm not actually dying to the fire, which is awesome. So it's pretty awesome for the nether. Yeah, so it is pretty good, and then the Vindicator does 7 damage, which is, like, so powerful. And it's probably because he carries around an iron axe all the time. So he's not neutral. When you spawn these guys in, they do take a little bit to actually attack. But yeah, so they have a chance of dropping an emerald and their axe. So the emerald's pretty neat, but fortunately they don't spawn in Vexes. But if you do get hit by one of these guys, oh, I about spawned in another Evoker. But yeah, so if you do get hit by these guys, you're gonna take a lot of damage. Well, sometimes it seems to be like 6 to 7. With looting 3, oh wow, with looting 3 he dropped 4 emeralds. Yeah, but one more thing about these guys is if you kill them while they're trying to cast a spell, it will not be cast. So that did nothing. But yeah, with the looting 3, he also dropped 3 emeralds. I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. Oh, and it does not have to be in your offhand. It could be in, like, your normal hand. It could be offhand or normal. But yeah, so the next one is the Ghast. And it only drops gunpowder and, or gas tears, which can be used for brewing, like regeneration potions, and then you can reverse that to poison and everything. You can smack the gas balls right, like, back at them, or you can, like, shoot them back, and they are an insta-kill, or you can just, see, the best way to kill them is to do it while they're on the ground. But if you cannot, then I would suggest, like, an enchanted bow, otherwise it'll take 2 shots to kill them. Okay, so if I could get out of this water, yeah. So they do die kind of easily, but sometimes they'll, like, fly super far away, and it'll just be impossible to actually kill them. But I got 3 gunpowder and 2 gas tears from that. Of course, I still have, 5 gunpowder. But yeah. So they, are decently easy to kill as long as they don't just, like, fly. Sorry about that. My video ran out. But, so if they do just fly away like this, it's literally impossible. Well, it's not impossible. But it's super hard to hit their gas balls right back at them. Because it goes in basically a random direction. Although most of the time it will go in, like, the direction that you hit it. But, it's still very hard to, like, shoot them unless you're a master with the bow, which of course I am not. Although a lot of you may be, a lot of you may not too. Although I don't doubt that most of you are better than me at this. But yeah, so that's like the gas. I'm just gonna leave him alone up there. But oh, I guess I did forget to mention his damage. The gas damage actually does, like the fireball itself does 6 damage, I believe, and the explosion does 9. But yeah, so up next we are gonna do the Guardian, who has, like, when you hit him, he has thorns, and his, so it does 2 damage, and his beam, when he holds it on you, does 4. The Elder Guardian, however, his thorns do 2 damage, and his beam does 5. Plus he has a chance to give you mining fatigue, so he's kinda deadly. And mean, because when you have mining fatigue, you attack like this. Versus, like, spamming it. Which on PC, they basically have to attack, like, either way. This Guardian drops Prismarine shards, crystals, and fish. And the Elder Guardian drops the same things, plus sponges. And if it's, like, a wet sponge, then you can put it in a furnace to dry it. But yeah, so they do live on land. But like, I like fighting them in water just because that's basically how they are in water temples. And also, every time I see a water temple, I don't, like, spend the time to craft a bunch of potions. You guys maybe, but I literally just make a bunch of signs and or ladders, so I can just, like, place those down to get a rest, so that's how I made this part. But yeah, the Guardian is, like, super fast, and you're super slow in water, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my diamond sword. See if I can get out of this hole. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use that, try and kill him. He's even hiding from me. Ow. Yeah, so I got him, and where's the air hole? Where is it? Oh jeez. Yes, I started drowning. But from that, I got 4 Prismarine crystals, 2 Prismarine shards with the looting 3. But the Elder Guardian is a lot bigger, and his beam does a lot more. In order to damage you with the beam, they have to hold it on you. So I just, like, stop moving for a second. He's about to do it again, yeah. So that does a lot of damage, plus the thorns are gonna, like, own you so bad. So you should, like, really try and get behind a block when they're holding the beam on you, because then it'll, like, stop the progress of the beam. No, I was so close. And it will, like, not damage you. If I don't die from the thorns here. Yeah, so let me get back down there. And then I will show you that. Oh, I guess I should have looked at the guest. If I die again, I will. But yeah, so let's see here. Die. They do have a lot more health than the normal Guardian, and I got a sponge there, which happens frequently. Some crystals and some shards. There's also just, like, some gold and redstone right there. Is that cool? Yeah. What a disgrace. But yeah, I, like, started drowning right then. Okay then, it cut out again, but yeah, so those were, like, the Guardians and everything, but the next one is the Enderman. Well, the next ones are the Enderman, which is 4 damage per hit, but he's also tall, so if you get in a 2-block space, he won't be able to get you. and the Endermite, which has a chance to spawn when you use Ender Pearls. So that does 2 damage. And Endermen, like, everyone knows what they are. They're fine as long as you don't hit them or look at them, like, above their legs. And they do teleport around, so I'm surprised he hasn't, like, teleported in here yet. Let's see if he will. Well, I got the Enderman. But yeah, so they drop Ender Pearls, which, when you use Ender Pearls, have a chance of spawning Endermites. They actually have the same spawning as a cow. And they're like super small. These are the ones I was talking to you about. Yeah, so they're just like really annoying to kill. And like they could be hiding there and then like you just are walking, then they come out of nowhere and just murder you. They do not have drops. And well, other than experience, but they don't drop too much of that. And the only thing that either of them do have are their Ender Pearls. But yeah, so the second to last thing is actually the mini boss, the Wither. And I only fight him like underground usually, just because it makes it like so much easier than like fighting him above ground. Because he like does a bunch of damage, and you have to do like the first half of the fight using a bow, which just really stinks. Because like if you're not that good with a bow, then like you'll just be wasting a bunch of arrows. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna bring out the good sword and go ahead and put on some iron armor, because he does do like a lot of damage. So yeah, what you have to do is you have to take 4 soul sand, which you find in the nether, and 3 wither skulls, which you get from killing the wither skeletons. I'm also gonna, wait. But yeah, so you just do it in this formation. Not that. You just do it in this formation, and you have to make sure that all the sides are clear. And his first attack is like when this blue wears off, and you can like see it. It'll explode for about 50 damage. And his skulls do 5 damage, plus they put wither on you. I should probably have eaten before I did this. But yeah, so he also has 300 health, so I would not suggest fighting like naked with a sword. Yeah, so the best way to kill him is to take him underground, and he's trying to escape right now. No escaping, though. Okay, well, I guess I have to get my Kubo out. He seems to, like, be stuck somehow. Usually he, just, like, stay underground. That's why you also cover up the hole, just to make it a lot harder for him to get out, because usually he's just blowing up everything. Unless you have mob range off, which I did turn off. And once he goes down to half health, he will come down to the bottom, and he can only take damage from the wood. So your bows will be useless after he gets to half health. So yeah. Yeah, the impact is 6 damage and the explosion 9 for the ghast. But like when he spawned in, as you could see up there, and like from a distance, it gets all hazy and everything. There he is. So like bows will actually do nothing against him. They will just bounce off and like probably shoot you. So don't like bring this OP bow and this wooden sword expecting to beat him, because he'll just die a lot. And when he dies, fortunately he doesn't have a finishing move, but he does drop the nether star. I about called it the end crystal. That'd be rather useless, because as soon as you put it down, if like somebody comes up, punches it or whatever, you're all dead. But yeah, so he always drops 1 nether star. He doesn't drop anything else. But I'll turn on mob griefing, and also like spawn them in up here so you can see it. Cause like if you didn't see it when he was spawned in, it like I could only see to that tree, and then it looked like I was looking way over there. But I'm going to do this. I guess I should probably get my bow over here. But yeah, so you also gotta make sure that all of this is cleared out of the way before you do, and then you can spawn him in. And watch how big his initial explosion is. Oh, and you cannot damage him while he's doing this. Don't expect like some easy hits because he's just sitting there. That's how big the initial explosion is. And usually he'll like fly up and you have to just sit here shooting him for quite a while. I would also recommend better armor if you're fighting him above. And if you are fighting him above, make it near your spawn point, but not too close. That way he doesn't despawn and you didn't like waste all your wither heads. Wither skeleton skulls. I'm about to die from this. No! Save me! But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and switch my armor real quick to like some guy without like command. But so he's just gonna sometimes go like a lot higher. And right now he's just sitting there taunting me. So I can't actually like hit him. So he just like blew a little bit up. But once he gets down to half health, he's almost there. Come on, one more hit. No, one more hit. Yeah. So when he does this, he can only be damaged by melee, and he like comes down to the ground, so he can melee. And like all mobs I fight, like all mobs you fight, make sure you try and crit him, and you do that by attacking as you're falling. And it does 150% damage, so like this sword does 10 damage. It would actually do 15 because 100% is 10 and then the 50% is 5, so it adds it together. So it does 15 damage versus just like the 10. Normally a diamond sword does 7, but still. I have it enchanted. So I'll go to the end and show you guys the Ender Dragon, which I'm sure you guys know. Okay then. I'm at the end portal. I just like dug my way down here. And I got some of these from creative. As you can see, I'm in creative right now. Those will actually end up in the end now. But be careful of that, because you do not want to dig straight above your portal and have like water or something come down, because that'll ruin it all. But now we are going to the end, and you will usually spawn like in an area like this. Sometimes you spawn off to the side, and you gotta dig your way out. It's not that much of a way, but like you can end up over here. And I'll go into survival now. But yeah, so the best way to do this is, first of all, you actually have to shoot these crystals, otherwise they will continuously heal the dragon. Or you can just like climb up there and smack them, but that's basically an instant death. And if you want to, you can damage the dragon by like waiting till he's next to him, and then shooting them, and then they will explode. Come on. Dang it, too late. But yeah, see, it did do quite a bit of damage, and that's against the dragon. Can't imagine how much it would do to like just a player. Oh, way too low. But yeah, he will spit this like purple and black fireball that basically is a lingering potion of harming, so it'll just do damage to everyone inside of it, like these purple effects. And when he's at the center, he will spit flame like this, and it will do the exact same thing. Center's like the best time to kill him, just because he's standing still, and you can melee him for like a lot of damage. But like I said, you want to make sure to go ahead and take all these out. It would really help if I wasn't aiming so fast. There's that. And now you can do a lot of damage to them. 2 of them are actually surrounded by these things, so you have to climb up here. You can like punch it and probably die, or you can like just destroy all these bars. And then like go down there again and shoot it, or like build over and then shoot it. But yeah, so now that those are all destroyed and he's not healing, you can just like sit here murdering him, but you will take a lot of damage. He has a lot of hit points. He does not have any drops other than experience, which he drops like 12,000 orbs of, and it's like a lot. Not 12,000 levels, that'd be way too OP. Oh, and one more thing about like the fireball is you cannot punch it back. Making it a lot worse. And like if you are flying or up there or something, it'll land on you and it'll just like continue damaging you from there. But yeah, so when he's at center, or she's at center, whatever you want to call it, is like the best time to actually protect her. Or when she dives at you. And oh, I was like stepping down again. Oops. Yeah, so the best time to do it is like right now, because then you can just get a bunch of free hits off and do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Flame does not work on the boss or the mini boss. The mini boss was the Wither, of course. Come on, and when she dies, she'll only drop the experience. Come on, but she'll have this awesome animation. No, just die. Imagine if I died right now while she was at like 2 health. Oh, of course I did. Okay then, I'll be right back. Okay, so fortunately she doesn't like regen her health and it doesn't reset. But that would be really bad if it did. Assuming she'll show up so I can actually do some damage. There. Wait, what? There. So she has this awesome death animation, where she just does this, and then she like dissolves, and then there is a dragon egg right there. She drops so much experience, but I would suggest like covering this up, that way you don't lose a bunch of experience, and then when you punch the egg, if you want it, and because so many times it's like teleported right up here and then been gone forever, and of course you can't get it from creative, because every time you punch it, it teleports randomly. It seemed to have gone right there. Yeah, so, and it also has these. Where is it? Come on, pick it up. Oh, come on, seriously? Well, it has the torches right here, but you should bring a pickaxe too, so that you can mine. What you have to do is you have to mine like this block and then that block right there. That way you can put the torch in there and then break this one, and then it'll fall on it. You don't have to have a pickaxe, but it'll make it so much faster. And then it will like be able to be picked up. But one thing, when you do kill the Ender Dragon, is it'll show you like a beacon for a second. Yeah, there it is. I didn't like see the beacon, but it'll spawn this thing in, which you need an ender pearl to get into unless you're in creative and you just like break your way in. And this will teleport you to the end city. And this is where you get the Chorus fruit. You can go through like these buildings right here, and there's chests everywhere. There's all sorts of like different banners and everything. When you go, oh yeah, this is also where you find shulkers, like I was telling you. But let's see here. There's different areas with like parkour that have like super OP chests in them. Come on, where is it? Did I like seriously miss it or something? Yeah, there's like areas where when you kill the shulkers and do the parkour, they're like super good items in a chest. And then there's also the ship. This is where you get the elytra, cause like oh, it's also where you get the dragon head, cause the dragon's head is on the front of the ship. Be aware you cannot go on the snout, otherwise it will just fall through it and fall to your doom. But if you do end up like out here super high falling, eat a Chorus fruit, which you get from breaking one of those plants, and it'll teleport to your ground. But when you come in here, there is a brewing stand. It has 2 potions of instant health too. And when you come down here, there it is. I know I heard one. There are some more chests. Wow, that's a pretty good one for like survival. And there's a elytra. All you gotta do is like take it out of the item frame, which I'm in creative, so I have to like break the block behind it. There it goes. But yeah, so there's this little jerk guarding it. But yeah, so when you attack them enough while they're not like open, they will teleport away, which is annoying. But yeah, so that's pretty much all, except you can grab the box. But yeah, so those are all the hostile and neutral mobs in Minecraft. Wow, I just remembered. I forgot the wolf. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and comment on any of your ideas and what I should do next. Thanks.